everyone, it's Yingsu here. I'm joined by G2's coach Pipson. Hi Pipson, you just played a pretty grueling 3 maps against Fnatic, but it came down absolutely to the wire. You guys were looking really, really good. Talk me through what happened in your point of view, and do you feel like maybe you guys should have clutched that in the end?
Nah, it's just we always have the same problem. Like we lost 3 games here in the third map, 11-13 versus LGN United versus Ascent and versus Fnatic, and the we are just lack of a lot of fundamentals as when it comes down to the rounds, which is super easy to win, but that will always cost us the round. As an example, against Ascent, like we lost 2 ecos on bind, like we're talking only about bind on against Ascent, 2 full ecos, 4v2 and 5v3, and it comes down to individual decisions when we're just cannot win these rounds. You can do the same against Fnatic. Like first map, we lost the 5v3 retake on Icebox with a Killjoy ult. Then we lose the 4v2 retake. Then we lose the 4v2 round on middle. When they rotate back to middle, and sometimes it feels that like we're talking about that like there are rounds which is much easier to win than to lose, but we always manage to lose them. So like it just comes down to that our communication is not on point, like and the stuff like that, because generally right now the current meta of Valorant that everyone is playing the same. Like let's take a look on our split and Fnatic split attack. They tried to bait out our slow plus nade on race and then execute A or B. We tried to bait out their nade plus fate pull and then execute A or B. That's how everyone is playing right now, because basically it's so hard to stronghold the sites. Like it's incredibly hard if people have a good execute to stronghold the site if you don't have enough utility. And like that's how everyone is playing right now in Valorant, and just change the comps and switch some utility. But the general idea is the same for everyone.
Obviously, normally, if this had happened in the beginning of the season, I would be asking you, what do you guys need to do to kind of change everything? But the season is over, and it was a little bit heartbreaking for you guys, given you were able to make the first international event of this year, but then you miss out on the next one, and you missed out. It's been a couple of weeks, right, since you've actually missed out. How has that affected the team mentally? And I guess, do you feel like that's a factor at all in the way that you've been playing?
Not really. We just need to like. It doesn't matter when we played in Reykjavik. It's the same problems that we need to fix our fundamentals in after trade scenarios. Because there are a lot of situations when we have a huge advantage, and it's not only a player wise. It can be a positional wise. It can be like after plant, whatever. But we consistently fail to win it because of lack of communication or bad individual decision making and the stuff like that. And it's just tough that it doesn't work out for us. Because in reality, like I wanted actually for the analyst desk, for if it's possible for the next game, to find out statistic on Icebox, how many teams attacking A, how many teams attacking B. But listen, it's not about that.
Okay.
It's like people are thinking that the game is so complicated and you need to play it in a specific way to win. But in reality, everyone is playing the same. 70% you attack A, because it's so hard to hold this side as 2, you need to play it as 3. And if you play it as 3, then you have gaps somewhere, usually. And but it's still winnable on A. But when you start playing as 4, people just go B. And I want to point out how many times teams on this EMEA did A split or B split through middle massively. Like 4 guys B split middle and 1 guy B, or 4 guys A. You will see that it will be like 0.1% of the rounds. There will be like 10 games when people didn't do a single B split or A split, because these rounds doesn't work. In reality, it feels that theoretically they should work. It's a good round, but practically they never work.
Okay.
Like, that's why we see like super simple rounds like A, B, A, B, A, B, everyone.
I will put that to Lothar specifically. I think Lothar will be able to find that stat for you. I gotta ask, because looking forward to the future, I'm sure you've seen the news that came out this week that G2 are supposedly disbanding the entire roster before next year. I'm just gonna ask you straight up: is that true? How much truth is in there, and
No.
what are you aware of?
No, it's not truth. Like at least from what I know and from what the players know, it is not the truth. Like we will play the last chance qualifier
As a team, so you're not making
as a
any
team.
changes.
Yes, like Yes, like it's not the truth. At least I don't know about that, or any from the player doesn't know about that. That we will disband the roster or something.
Were any of you kind of confused as to why this had come out? Because
I
obviously, yeah, it's a really like a serious thing to come out, right? It's not like if someone were to just make that up, it feels really strange. So you guys must have been very surprised with this.
I do think that it's just people used to that G2 always wants to win, and everyone knows Carlos, and Carlos always wants to win and hungry for the trophies. And because we failed, basically, this news comes out because the first season when we played in Reykjavik, no one was thinking about that. But in reality, we played okay the first season, like when we qualified to Reykjavik, and we failed the second season. So it's pretty normal. Like I mean, sometimes it do be like that, and there are no excuses. We played really poorly. So, but no one was questioning our game when we played the playoff in the first season. It was exactly the same. Like people like A Icebox, same what Fnatic is doing right now,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah.
take the same comp and they just go A. Then we stack for A. They're like, okay, it's time to go B.
Yeah, they
Like
they just they just threw your stuff back at you,
yeah,
basically.
like kind of, yeah. Like it just comes down to who execute uh, the same idea just a little bit better. Who will combine the utility better? Who will trade better? Who will win the after plan? Who will win the trade situation and the stuff like that? And the whole season, I think Nuki told about that. We are making so many individual mistakes, like over peaking, not communicating, losing a 2v1s because of a bad positioning and the stuff like that.
You use the word fail, like you see this season as a failure. To what extent do you feel like it is a failure for you guys? Is there anything positive that came out of it?
I do think it's a failure because we didn't qualify to LAN. Like it's basically a failure. Like we did it the first season, we didn't do it the second season. It's a failure. Like it would be a failure if we would qualify to playoffs and don't go to LAN. It still would be a failure. Like it's just simple as that. Like you either succeed or you fail. It's always about that in esports or in any sport. But there is only one winner every time. No matter how hard you try, there is going to be only one team who is win and the others will fail.
When it comes to the team that's going to win and fail, now you guys have played at least all of the teams in your group. Do you feel like there is going to be a standout winner, at least from our region? Can they compete globally this time around?
I don't know, like Fnatic playing really good, and everybody's saying that Fnatic playing really good. But today we didn't felt that they are like insane. Like they are really good for sure. But I don't know, like maybe it's just us who is losing 11-13 every time on the third map. Like they are playing good for sure. Like I don't know, but it's just it feels a little bit different with the current meta of Valorant. That, like as I said before, it was a little bit more of defaulting and trying to gather up the information on the map and like the stuff like that. And right now, every region is kind of playing the same. Bait out the utility, execute 4-1 with a lurker or 5-0. Bait out the utility, execute. Bait out the utility, execute. Because if you have no utility right now, and even if you will play like let's say split, you will stay 3B and you have no nade and slow, GG, it's over. If you execute before that, like the last round Fnatic did against us, they executed with a fade ult, and we had slow plus nade. You cannot win this round. Almost like statistically, it's impossible to win this round. Almost like it's 10%. No matter how many ults you use, that's why everyone is just baiting out the utility, execute. Baiting out the utility, execute. And just changing the comps so the execute is different. Someone executing with Fate, someone executing with Sova, someone executing with Sky, like in the stuff like that. But it's still so tough because it's not a ranked game and it feels like you are staying in the site. And then there is like Fate, die, pool, smoke, nade, satchel, everything comes into you and you are like, I don't know, I need to break everything and at the same time I need to kill people who is running and I'm getting blind and it's impossible. Like, but if you have some utility, you just separate that and then it's fine.
I mean, obviously, Pipson, you were a IGL in the game very not that long time ago. You turned coach quite recently, and obviously you have a very good understanding of the game. Do you ever want to go back to playing? Any of that tempt you want to kind of get back into the server?
I don't know, like not really. Like I don't know, like it's like while I'm coaching, I'm focusing on a coach. Like if a team would ask me like, oh, we lack of IGL, like maybe let's try to play with you as an IGL, I would like, yeah, okay, let's try. But
Ooh.
it just comes down to the decision making of the team and at the same time of the organization. Like because it's also we don't know what will happen what will happen next overall, right? Because there are news that there will be a franchise league and the stuff like that, and like we just need to speak to our management and to Carlos and to G2 overall, like what is their plan, how they see it, what they want to do, and obviously they will decide.
I mean, but like you're not gonna shut the door. So if there is a possibility, you're not gonna turn it down. Like you still have a tiny
No,
bit
no,
of
like
interest that wanting to play, or no?
not really, like not
Oh,
really.
okay. I just wondered because obviously, like, you have such a good read on what is happening right now, and there are not that many good IGLs around. It feels like. What are your views on the current in-game leaders of EMEA? I guess.
I do think that the EU is struggling with that a lot, like really a lot compared to the other regions. Because let's say in Europe we don't have that many IGLs, and even there were like some successful IGLs with tons of experience, like Gobbi, but
Yeah.
he left. Like, and in reality, there are not that many IGLs, and we can see teams without IGLs a lot. Like, let's say Atsen doesn't have a real IGL. Like, it's not like VAC. Like, full props to them. They are playing good. They qualified. We don't. But like VAC is not Angel. Like, if you understand my point, it's not about him being a good player. It's about leading and the experience in that. Like, or Liquid, who is consistently saying that we don't have the IGL, or us. Like, it's not that easy just to, oh, we need IGL. Let's get the IGL.
Do you,
Not everyone can be an IGL, and
yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna ask
people
you that.
knows that. Luke on both, he has this leadership, he has this skills, leading skills. He likes it. Like not every person is like this who wants to be a leader. Not every person is capable of doing that, and it's not only about reading the game. It's also about a personality that your teammates wants to follow you, that your teammates sees the leader in you, and the stuff like that. So like being IGL, it's not only calling around in the game. It's much more deeper than people like think.
Some people need the personality, right? It's sometimes the personality, you need that to fit a good IGL. I think Godby is a great example because even
Yeah.
speaking to Godby, I'm like, I can tell why everybody respects him so much. Lastly, the future of this team, obviously, for the rest of the year, you guys have a little bit of a break now before LCQ. You have time, like you said, to fix things and to kind of identify what went wrong this season and to actually come back and have a chance at Champions. What is the one thing that you don't want to see your players do in LCQ? What is the one thing that if they do it, you're going to be screaming at them, being like, come on, we know we shouldn't be doing this right now?
Yeah, I would say two: failing in fundamentals
Okay.
or losing unlosable rounds. Like because we did it so many. Like even the pistol round on Bind today versus Fnatic, we stacked 5B, they went B, and 3 guys jumps out of hook and kill everyone. Like sometimes it do be like that when your positioning are poorly, your communication are poorly, and Nuki kills 2 guys in the back on long. But it just happens that and that's the worst part, that it happens every game a lot of times when we either have a read and we know that okay they will go B, we stack B, and we lose the round. When theoretically we have super high chances of winning that, or is the opposite, that like we're failing like 4v2 after plans, like I don't know, Ascend round 4v2 when they have 10 seconds left in the Viper ult and we have res, and we 4 guys spamming the ult and Monster goes out and 3 guys on reload and he kills everyone because we're in reload.
Oh, the pain.
Like these rounds, which is like a much easier to win than to lose, we consistently like keep losing.
Well,
So if we will fix that, then it will be completely a different game.
yeah, definitely going to make it to Champions, I feel like, if you fix that. But thank you very much, Pixon, for joining me. And it's been great to chat to you, and we'll see you at LCQ.
Yeah, thank you so much, Insu. See you later. Have a good playoffs.
Thank you, bro.